All right, let's go to a question right back here.
Sometimes we get into a point where there's burnout is real. One thing that I can say about you as observing you just today, actually, is there's a certain level of stamina and mental dexterity that perhaps many people do not have. How do you day in, day out, work, talk, help? How do you manage that?
Like everyone, I get tired, but there's a difference in fatigue and burnout. Burnout is you're doing something you hate and you're tired. Fatigue is I just did the yard and I'm really tired of doing the yard, but man, it looks great for at least a week, and it looks perfect. I used to cut grass when I was a kid, and it was a certain satisfaction at the end. It's like, that's a job well done, and it gives you energy to look at it and go, those bushes look great, that mulch is great, that customer's going to be happy and give me my $3 and that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's I think when you can close the loop on something, stuff where the deal stays open in perpetuation, that's very hard. But you can close the loop and say, this has occurred, it's a completed job, and this person I'm looking at a person who was helped, and my family's financially better off as a result. Everyone in this transaction won. There's a lot of energy in that. And the more your years, now it's decades for me, almost 40 that I've been doing this. I think the phrase you used, dexterity, that's an interesting phrase, but I think my mental gymnastics have increased because of practice. So sitting down to do a media interview, the first time I did it, it was like molasses. It was like in slow motion. And now my pulse rate doesn't change, So I think it's a learned skill, a muscle that is developed over time, and you get better at it, you quicker at it. You pull the file, go, that plug, do the edit on the fly and picks that. Yeah, that was funny. Let's try that again. And or that caught people would go, I'm going to try that one again. I'll file that. And 30 years of doing that, you got a lot of files.
Yeah, just a quick observation on that question. You can't give what you don't have. And, when you see his energy, there's a whole lot of why behind that, a whole lot of why, because you don't have to be here. And the other thing is the how. And just in my own life, there are seasons where I'm better at work when my personal life and everything else is better.
Oh, yeah.
And when it's not.
If the home front's fires aren't burning, you're messed up.
I would say, taking care of yourself, physically, spiritually, relationally, that a lot of times is what creates what we see as burnout. It's really someone just flaming out. It's not burnout. Life is on fire and they don't get it fixed.
Yeah, and your tank gets empty for whatever reason.
Yeah,
you got to refill your tank. That person bragging on you at the parking lot doesn't fill your tank if you go home and you got a mess at home.
100%.
Because that'll drain off every little thing you got. So, yeah, I'm inordinately blessed. I mean, my wife is the definition of low maintenance. She does not do drama, and she has no tolerance for people who do. So, including me if I get home. So
it's true.
So it's like, it's like she's the perfect. I mean, it was with the kids growing up over the years, I've been doing this, and we got a hard schedule or something. There was no wait till your father gets home. No, she took care of it long before I got there.
I love that.